There it goes.
Hey everybody! This is Krista Krogan with Young Living Essential Oils, and I am so excited and so honored that my friend Patsy Mettenbrink has agreed to teach us today about gardening and using our wonderful Young Living products in conjunction with plants and gardening for our Immerse conference. So Patsy is, you might have to help me. So you have been through the certification process as a master gardener.
Yes.
Okay, so she is.
It's a yearly program that needs to be recertified. I'm not done for this year.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So she is a wealth of information. I always love it when Patsy comes to our classes because she always brings new information for us, and so she knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. So I thought we would start out maybe just with you sharing a little bit about the seed to seal difference that we receive with Young Living essential oils as opposed to maybe using other companies.
Our seed to seal program, of course, we know is the seed, cultivate, distill, test, and seal. With other oils out there, we don't have that guarantee like we do with our Young Living oils. So it's very important, especially with our Vitality line, if we're going to be ingesting, that we want to make sure that's the purest product that we can use.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Well, let's dig into this a little bit more. So why use essential oils to support plant health?
The essential oils are, like we just talked about, are the pure life defenders of the plants, and it helps with the soil health, which is so very important to the plants that we're going to be growing. If we're using a toxic chemical, that will break down certain aspects of the soil health. So the soil health has to be important to keep healthy growing plants. We use organic fertilizers. I have a couple of different ones here. Best thing to do is also use a lot of organic mulching. It's going to build your soil health, and it also helps to conserve moisture, which is going to be an issue. That's that all we've got.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I just was listening. Okay, great. So let's talk more specifically then about particular essential oils and what are the suggested uses for those.
With the essential oils, a lot of people think it's going to be expensive, but that's really not the case. If there's about 250 drops in a 15 milliliter bottle, averaging price is about $20. It breaks down to 8 cents a drop. And you can use the essential oils for a variety of issues that are affecting your plant health. And it has various chemical constituents with differing modes of action within the plant itself. One of the big issues is that essential oils can be used to attract the pollinators, and therefore it has the pheromone history, and you're going to have communication with your other little pollinators you want to come and pollinate, so you have more fruit crop. It's very complementary to the garden plants. With the essential oils in the water, it's very important to remember that with sunlight, we're underneath the shade tree here, thank you God.
Yes, it's nice and beautiful
yeah, it's
today.
Pretty nice. Sun rays, once it hits the plant leaf, if it has the oil on it or if it has water, that acts as a magnifier. So we have to be careful that when we do apply our water with essential oil in it, that we do it in the cool of the morning, when it's calm, or in the cool of the evening when we don't have the penetrating sun rays. With everything that I am going to discuss, the dilution ratio is 10 drops of your essential oil to like a gallon of water.
Okay.
So it is not much at all, very economical. And you also would like to include a drop of your dish soap, your Thieves dish soap. That just helps to incorporate the oils into the water. And you can shake it up. You can also use a small commercial spray bottle. Put your water, your soap, like that. One drop is a little bit too much in that one. And then you need to fill it up, and then you can add your oil to it. And you can just spot spray, or you can just mist like this. And I just have basil in here. over there? But again, we're in the shade, so the light that hit that is not going to affect the plants.
Well, can I interrupt you real quick? Last year when we did this class at Stolly Park, you had a spray bottle with eucalyptus. No, it was tea tree.
Tea
What
tree
was
in
in
it.
it? And what was that for? That
The
was
tea
to kind
tree?
of help protect the gardener,
Yeah,
maybe?
it is,
To keep the bugs away from
Yeah,
the gardener.
definitely. And then I also
Too.
use it to wipe down the tables. And then use your Thieves cleaner with the tea tree oil to do cleaning on all your accessories for your garden, from
Mhm.
your pruning shears to your trowels to your cultivators, even your pots that you're using from last year. It's a good idea to rinse those all out very well, let them air dry, and then you're not going to be spreading any disease that could be brought in from new plants.
Oh, good point. What about Thieves Cleaner for that?
Thieves cleaner is the bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
mix up like we normally did for light cleaning. If you're concerned, if you had an issue with a plant that might have had the problem with a mold fungus, what you need to do is destroy that plant, burn it. Do not put it in your compost pile because you don't want to risk starting an issue again with our product.
Sure.
And then just really hit it hard with your Thieves cleaner.
Okay. Wonderful.
So,
What else you got?
peppermint oil,
Yeah.
one of my favorites, is a great deterrent for all sorts of nuisances in our garden.
Mm-hmm.
You can place it around the perimeter garden. Most animals despise the smell of the peppermint oil.
Yeah.
Skunks, mice, snakes,
Ants
ants.
in the house.
Huge, yes, very good
Mhm.
around your kitchen this time of year. They're just coming in everywhere.
Yeah.
So with your peppermint oil, just go around the base of your plants if you have to do an issue with that. Try not to do directly on it. If you do need to do directly, maybe 1 drop to a 32-ounce container. Just if they're like, sometimes they like to nest in certain plants. Artemisia is so soft. You'll find your bunnies and other little creatures will want to nest in there because it's so soft.
Yeah.
So you could spray that with peppermint, and then
Okay.
they would not want to be around there.
Wonderful.
Basil is a complementary plant, and the oil is also could be used in the same fashion, especially for tomatoes. They really like tomatoes. They have the tomato and the basil. The relationship with them is you can get more flavorful and more fruit out of the tomatoes if you have basil growing around it. So another aspect is we could mix our basil oil into a spray bottle. If you don't have the basil plants, you can spray your tomato plants with the basil oil, and it will attract the beneficial pollinators as well.
And then would you say again that you wouldn't necessarily spray directly on the plant,
Just
but
kind of around it.
around it.
Kind of messed up in the area also.
awesome. This is so helpful. Patsy, we have a huge garden for the first time in our lives, and so I have been relying heavily on Patsy to get advice for what to plant with it. So this is super helpful for me as we're getting ready to actually plant some stuff.
It'll be a good time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will.
Okay. what
Rosemary
else?
oil is, it kind of shoos away your bacterial or viral invaders. And if you mix peppermint with the rosemary, and again, we're talking 10 drops per gallon, when you see those darling little cute white mothy butterflies flying around your cabbage plants, you can spray that around the base of those plants, and it's going to shoo away all that kind of treasures.
Okay.
Coriander is a really beneficial to attracting the pollinators and your defenders of your plants. So again, you're going to mist around your plants. And fennel plants and dill plants. I have a fernleaf dill in the back of our little display here. I couldn't find any fennel. It's very sad.
Aw.
I have some growing, but it's too tiny to even try to put in there. But they're the superheroes for our pollinators because the butterflies will come. They will lay their eggs on the actual plant. That plant is the host plant for the beneficial butterflies. So they lay their eggs, and then the instars, when they start to hatch, the little tiny larvae, they will grow. They will eat the plant. So when you see your plant disappearing, it's because the beneficial pollinators are using that as their host plant in order to survive, form the chrysalis, and then migrate, or then going into the birth of the butterfly. So you always want to maybe plant 2 or 3 extra plants that you know are going to be used as a host plant if you really like to use fennel in your deal.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
If you have an issue with aphids, which we usually do, especially on the nice spring flush of growth, if you use any evergreen oil, you're going to spray it on the plant. It will halt the advancement of those aphids. They do not like any of the evergreen oil. So we would use your cedar woods, the Northern Lights Black Hill spruce, fir, white fir, western red cedar. I don't know if we can get that anymore, but those are all good oils. Pine oil.
I was going to say pine.
Very good pine.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have the oils, if you have pine trees around, then you can take the pine clippings, spread in your garden as well. And that's also a good deterrent for like your cutworms, your snails, your slugs, like that, because when they crawl across with their soft bodies, they get punctured and then they expire. So it's a good,
they expire.
Yes.
That's good.
Thyme and sage oil are also good to spray around the base of your plants, and then that will take care of some forms of fortress against your cutworms, which like to eat them off straight at the ground. And then when you're going to do seed planting now, you have seeds that you want to start in your own soil. I forgot to bring my little packets of seeds. No. Anyway, it's time to plant seeds. Well, we can use thyme oil. Take and put 2 drops in a 32-ounce container of water. Soak your seeds for 20 minutes. Take and put them out in the garden, and they have beneficial resistance starting.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Citronella oil is really good if you can take some, mix it with some water, and if you have strips or like ribbons, cotton ribbons, and you're going to have a party, like out here on the patio, what you do is soak them in the water, and then you can take up and hang around in your trees or on the side of your area that you are going to want protection, and will protect against any airborne attacks from nuisance animals.
Good stuff.
And probably another month we're going to be invaded by the shiny green little Japanese beetles. Yeah, there go my roses. Anyway.
Hopefully not.
No, I know. If you're going to have to hit them hard, but if you take thieves oil and put 20 drops of thieves oil, now this is the only exception, you'll take 20 drops and put 20 drops of thieves oil in here with the water, and then you can just knock them straight out there.
Okay, so we need to go a little more heavily concentrated on the thieves for that.
Just on those. Yeah, and you can also use the thieves household cleaner.
Okay.
Instead of just using thieves oil.
Great.
And if you have issue with weeds, which we all do, the remedy for that would be on a hot afternoon, kind of like today, when it's really sunny between 2 and 4 o'clock, take 10 drops of cinnamon bark oil.
Oh. Put
straight vinegar, white vinegar, in the bottle, and then use your spray setting that's a stream. Well, probably not going to get it. A stream, and do a direct attack on that weed.
Okay.
Because it's non-selective. Anything it hits, it's going to kill. Oops, I didn't say that. But anyway, sorry. It will cease all
it won't like that.
xylem and phloem production in the plant. So it won't be very pretty.
Okay.
But make sure you, like I said, make sure you hit the target plant you're after.
Shot to the center of the nemesis is what the
Yes,
notes say.
that's right.
Like that. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, we have a few more products besides oils that I see here on the table. So do you want to just briefly share what else you got here?
Well, we now have the insect repellent as of last year convention, and we also have the mineral sunscreen lotions, which are very good to have.
Yes.
Then after you've worked in the garden for a long time, you can put on, well, you can actually use a Cool Azul before and Cool Azul after. That's very good. And
yeah, we've got both the sports gel and then we've got Cool Azul pain cream. So we've got 2 different products. It's kind of personal preference as far as who likes what better. So, yeah.
And when I start, the coconut lime body butter, replenishing butter, is really good before you start with your gardening. Is to take some, put it around your cuticles, on your hands, and then underneath, and then it'll make cleanup so much easier when you're done gardening. If you're not, even if you are wearing your gloves.
Oh.
And then if you have your, I like to use lavender lip balm, left in the truck, and again, put that around your cuticles, because your cuticles are the one part of your hands that really seem to take the most abuse when it comes to the gardening season.
Okay.
And then for internal sun protection,
Mhm.
We can use the Ninja Red
Yep.
daily and the Nitro. Should be drinking that anyway. Helps keeps hydrated.
Right. Right.
And you can add the peppermint or lemon vitality. Water hydration is very important for us at all times, but especially when you're out working and when the wind's blowing and the sun's shining. Keep hydrated.
Yeah.
And also I like the flavor of this sleek essence.
Do you like
Those
that?
drops. It almost makes you feel like you want to drink more water. Yes.
That might be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there
you
might
want
be
to
something in
hydrate.
there.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. It's good
yum.
stuff. I see some bath bombs up there
Oh,
too.
yeah. So when you're really done, there's our bath bombs. Put those in the bathtub and relax.
Yeah, because
So-
gardening's hard work. It can, induce stress on those muscles and
Yes.
joints, right?
Total chunk.
Okay. Looks
So-
like we covered most everything on your table. You can see Patsy's got lots of, I don't know if you can see it or not, but she's got lots of books up here. So, essential oil desk reference, and then some gardening books too. So she definitely knows her stuff. So, is there anything else that you'd like to add, or do you think you covered
I think we
your
covered
topics today?
pretty much all of it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for
You're
sharing
so
with
welcome.
us today. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad I'll be taking these notes home with me. 'Cause,
Can we post
I need
these
them.
this on the page with it?
what is it?
It's,
she
she
has
has that list of all the
stuff.
all the oils to use because I see the flies, which I hate biting flies.
Yeah.
So,
So what we'll do is, if that is some kind of maybe we can adapt that so it's shareable online, and then we can share it right with your video. So we will see. It's just it looks like a great handout as far as the different types of pests and things that you might encounter, and good products to help guard against those. So
And a plug
Wonderful.
for KT Cook. She did a program last Monday on the.
Yeah.
You can pick up the video on that on the DW Oil Hub.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I haven't
So-
had a chance to watch that yet.
It was
so
a very good information program as well.
awesome, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for
Thanks, Krista.
helping us out, Patsy, and
adios,
Bye.
girls.
Thanks.
Get
still going.